Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Foothills Regional Services Commission Landfill Operations Meeting. And I'll call this meeting to order at 9:33 a.m. And we'll move on to item number 2, additions to the agenda. Are there any additions? Not seeing any. Can we have someone approve the agenda?
I'll give you that motion.
Thank you. All those in favor? Motion carried. We will move now down to item number 4, acceptance of the Foothills Regional Services Commission landfill operations minutes from the previous meeting.
Could I just?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I just wanted to do a follow-up on something that was brought up in the previous meeting. Can I do that here?
Sure.
Okay, the drywall, did we find out any more information on where it was going and the environmental impacts possible of that? Because further information that houses built prior to 1990 should, because there was asbestos in the mud that was used in these homes. So are we knowing the age of the drywall that's coming into the landfill? And then it was mentioned that it was going to feedlots, and if they're using it as bedding and then scraping the pens and then possibly spreading this out on fields, yeah, it brings up some concerns for me.
I wonder if Joe Angevine has that in his report.
I can respond to it now, but so I did reach out to the feedlot to ask them. They didn't respond to me, to be honest. And then I kind of forgot to follow up. So I will send another email. I can tell you though that the stuff that we collect is not the old drywall. So it's basically like end cuttings and stuff like that from new drywall. We don't take the painted and old drywall that goes into the landfill. So this would have been clean. New drywall in this pile, not and like end cuttings and stuff, not the old used stuff, because that typically comes in like a demolition load or something like that. So yeah, but no, I did send an email right after the meeting to those guys to clarify what you had asked, and they never got back to me, and I forgot to follow up. So I apologize for that, but I will. Maybe I'll phone him this time. Maybe he's not an emailer. I don't know. He's
okay.
But, yeah.
Thanks for that. So if it is a renovation or from a home built prior to 1990, you said that it just goes in, does it get buried immediately into the, okay.
Yeah, so that would be crushed in with the rest of the garbage and covered at the end of each day.
Okay, thank you.
And we have very specific protocols for asbestos. So if there's demolitions and stuff, we don't even accept demolition loads until they prove they don't have asbestos, all those types of things as well.
Okay, thank you.
Jason, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, just to add that Alberta OH&S also requires asbestos testing on demolitions or renovations on homes built prior to 1990. So they would also have that information in hand and would be required to dispose of it properly.
Thank you. Okay, so can we move on to item number 4, the acceptance of the minutes from the January 26th meeting? Can I get a motion? Dave Mitchell gives us that motion. All in favor? Motion carried. We'll now move on to accounts payable. Has everybody had a chance to go through the accounts payable?
Yep.
I have a couple questions. What is a DEF tote deposit?
So DEF fluid is basically on all the heavy equipment that we have. It's the emission control system to reduce the particulates and exhaust for environmental, greenhouse gas emissions and stuff like that. So we have to buy this very expensive fluid called DEF fluid. And we used to have one provider, and there was a new guy that came into the site here and offered to service the site for a much lower rate than we were currently getting. So this will save us some money over the year on our purchasing of DEF fluid. But it's basically a emissions control fluid that goes in all the different heavy equipment that we use.
Okay, and environmental insurance? That's just probably standard landfill.
Yes, that's like an annual insurance that we have to maintain with the site, because Alberta Environment actually owns the land of this site. We lease it from them, and so we have to have the insurance for liability and long term, impacts on the site.
So, and then just one last question. I see on our pre-authorized payments is a TELUS mobility charge. Is that now like with our new our new Wi-Fi provider?
No, we have some cell phones for some of the staff here on the site. That's all that is.
Because we used to have 2 TELUS communications line items, and I see we just have the one this time.
Yeah, should be any change on that front. Nothing's changed with us here at the site. So I'm seeing a TELUS mobility and a TELUS communications 2 line items there, but I'm not sure if I haven't gone back and checked versus previous months, but it should be the same.
Okay, that sounds good. I can give the motion if anybody else doesn't have any questions. Not seeing any. That the accounts payable dated February 23rd, 2026 in the amount of 453,684.83 be accepted for payment. All those in favor? Motion carried. We'll now move on to item number 6, the tonnage report. Does anybody have any questions on the tonnage reports? There doesn't seem to be much change at all or anything like that. No. Okay. Can I get someone to make the motion on the tonnage report, please?
I'll give you that motion.
Thank you. All those in favor? Motion carried. Now we'll move on to item number 7 and item number 7A with our operations update with Manager Angevine.
Hey, thank you. And good morning. Yeah, all in all, I would say it's been a fairly quiet month. Pretty typical this time of year. We've had some small dirt jobs coming in, but basically just pretty standard stuff as far as commercial and residential waste coming in. We're still down our seasonal staff as well, so they will be returning in early March to the site, and then things start to kind of pick up here on site again. Come March and April, it gets quite busy. The spring cleanup, so that should be for our next meeting. The exterior of the new shop is basically completed now, and they've been working the last few weeks on the internal, so installing plumbing, all that type of stuff on the inside. Planning to do the concrete pour by about the 9th of March, so things are moving along with the new building, and starting to actually look like a shop. So we're pretty excited to get into that one, hopefully by about May or June of this year. So that's moving along pretty well, and no major issues to report on that project. We have the phyto remediation pad that we've been discussing for the last couple of years, or year and a half or so. We spent the winter months building that pad up on top of the landfill. So we've been putting the waste up on top of the landfill to build that pad out to the size, a flat 2 hectare area for that project. And we're basically there now. So that's gone really well over the winter. And I should be having final probably by I'd say mid-March here. I should have that all kind of wrapped up, and then Ramo should be able to move ahead with that project and get the final steps of that project done. So we're making good progress on that project as well. What else do I have here for you? The packer, so our landfill compactor is our biggest purchase outside the shop this year, and that the request for proposals was posted this last month, so that is up, and the question period just ended, so we have some interest on that. I'm guessing I'll get at least 3 to 4 options, maybe 5 or 6, but There aren't a ton of companies that make landfill compactors, but we should at least get 3 or 4 options for that. And there's some good stuff in that RFP about downtime replacements and compaction guarantees and proof of density related to compaction, all those types of things. So whichever we end up going with, I think we'll be confident that we're upgrading from our current situation on that front. And that RFP closes March 6th. So I should have options for the board at next month's meeting is the plan for that. So I'm excited to see what options we get there. We had Alberta Environment surprise site audit. So this is the second time we've had that in about 13 years since I've been at the site. So yeah, they came in and spent 7 hours with us. That was a fun day, as I'm sure you can imagine, and went through every detail of everything we do here on site. It was very thorough. The last time I had an audit, site audit, it was like 2 or 3 hours, and it was pretty high level. This guy was very, very thorough, so he went through every little detail of what we do here. There were some things that we were found deficient in. Most of it was minor stuff. My composting certification had expired in December. I just need to renew that, so I'm going through that process right now. There were some reporting details in our annual reports that weren't exactly how they wanted them, and some of the stuff, locations of wells on site drawings and stuff like that. And there was one well where a lock was missing, so it was all pretty minor stuff. Most of the things that they outlined we've already fixed, have already updated, or will be updating in this year's annual report. So there was a couple things. We had some stuff stored improperly with like spill containment. So that was more our bad. Guys with batteries outside of the, it was on a spill containment pallet, but it's supposed to also be within an area that has a curb in case the batteries leak. So they had it out for pickup outside of that curbed area, stuff like that. But again, those are some pretty minor things. And usually it is stored within that area. They just had it set out because it was going to be picked up the next day by the battery recyclers. So kind of just bad luck with the timing on that one, but still, it was a good thing to discuss with our staff about proper storage and making sure it's stored there until they pick it up, not set out the day before. Stuff like that. So pretty minor stuff. But all in all, we did, if anyone's interested, I can send out the audit report. It's like a 30-page report with a lot of detail. But if anyone is keen to see that, I could send that out to the board. But again, it's all very minor stuff, and most of it's already been resolved or will be resolved here within once we finish the annual report. But yeah, that was a bit of a doozy and made a bunch of work over the last week or so here. So moving forward, seasonal staff return March 9th, and the shared position that we approved, the salvage center has also finalized. So I'm working with them to get that position started in April. So I should be posting that position this next month as well. So by next meeting, we will likely be in the interview process or something like that. And the fiber optic expansion to the landfill project starts on Wednesday. So the crew has their gear on site here. They had that with nice window weather, and then of course they mobilized, and then it went to -30 for a week, and the gear sat here and froze for a week. So it's pretty typical. But anyways, they are planning to fire up and hopefully expecting some good weather as it's supposed to warm up here again to start running that project and getting fiber to the site. And they'll basically extend the fiber, stub it out at the 2 buildings here on the landfill site. And then once the new building and all that is up, we should have fiber to the fiber optic internet at the landfill, which gives us all kinds of flexibility moving forward with our scale house and security systems and all those types of things. So yeah, exciting stuff, lots of upgrades, lots of improvements happening. Yeah, staff's doing well. Had a bunch of sickness, as I'm sure everyone else is dealing with, but we got through it and just kind of a skeleton crew here for a few weeks there with a lot of sickness, but yeah, we got through it and should have a good spring. Looking forward to getting our seasonals back. Any questions on the operations update?
Not seeing any. You want to move on to item number 7B? Our fee bylaw?
Yes, so I believe We went over this last month. Harry, were you planning to discuss this or go over this with them, or is this? Do you want me to just go through this?
No, go ahead. We're, I guess, in a position to move ahead. This would be effective April 1st. And I believe the only change is the yard waste change. So it's pretty straightforward, but we still have to provide public notice. And so today we would be looking for first reading for the change.
Okay, thank you, Harry.
So I just need a motion to give us, has everybody, oh, Jason, please.
Oh, you're muted, Jason.
Thank you, Joe. Sorry, only one. I'm not commenting on the prices or anything, but I do notice these silly little things like spelling errors. Line item 100, mixed solid waste rather than soiled waste. If we can just approve it with that correction, it would be great. Thank you.
Okay. So can I have someone give us the motion to give the first reading, please? Dave Mitchell gives us that. All those in favor? Motion carried. Can we move on to second reading?
No, I think generally we would hold off and
Go until after
see
the,
and see if there's any public comment. I don't think there's been any interest, but you never know. So we
okay,
can wait till the next meeting for second and third.
okay, that sounds good. So not seeing anything else under the new business area. We'll move into roundtable discussion. Anybody have anything for roundtable? Not seeing any. Okay, so our next meeting will be held on March the 23rd of 2026 at 9:30. So can I get a motion to adjourn? I can make the motion to adjourn at 9:51 a.m. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye. Oh, Michael Nychuk is. Thank you.
Everybody's good. That was a really long meeting, so maybe people need a break. Oh, good. I got some laughs on a Monday morning. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, we'll call to order the Foothills Regional Services Commission wastewater operations meeting at 9:51 a.m. Any additions to the agenda this morning from anyone? Not seeing anything. Okay. Moving on to acceptance of the minutes from the previous meeting. Previous meeting was held on Monday, January 26th. And can I get a motion to accept them as presented?
I'll give you that motion.
Thank you, Benita. All in favor? I guess it's just the two of us. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Good. That's accepted. Moving on to accounts payable. We have accounts payable in the amount of $11,062.33. I guess I'm looking at you. Oh, I can make the motion too. How about I'll make this one? I'll make a motion that we approve the accounts payable dated February 23rd, 2026 in the amount of $11,062.33. Those in favor? Opposed? Don't see any. Thank you. That motion is carried. Moving on to item number 6, business, and Harry with our update for the lift station and pipeline. And I noticed, sorry, I wasn't able to attend the last meeting, but I did notice in some comments there was something about vibration, and hopefully you might be talking about that, Harry, and where we're at with whatever that might have been in one of the pumps.
Yeah, so the pumps are, as always, causing issues. And so Matthew Belcastro from who works for the town of High River and on the operation. So pump number 1 failed again, and they're trying to determine how this happened, and we are trying to have this covered by warranty. But pump number 2 and the pipeline are running well. So fortunately, that is working out. And this was dated February 13th. So it's a good chance that things are moving forward anyway in the interim. So, but that's the life of pumps. I don't know how it doesn't matter what utility operations are going, there's always pump issues.
On that, I kind of thought that was the one that we had recently repaired.
Yeah.
Are you aware of what the warranty period is, if any? That was a repair, it wasn't a replacement, right?
That's right. It's sort of a partial rebuild. So, yeah, I just have the email. So unless Courtney had heard something additional, and she's saying no, you know, I didn't check to see how long the warranty period would be. But you're right. It's a recent repair, and must be something additionally wrong with this particular pump.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for the update. Appreciate it. Do you want to talk at all about the flow tables? I mean, we've got 1 month under the belt, so to speak. So there's not a lot to look at or talk, but
yeah, pretty standard volumes coming forward, and you know, winter time. So no, it's
nothing of incident.
Nothing to really get excited about yet.
All right. Well, then we'll move right to roundtable. And I don't know if anybody has anything they want to bring to roundtable today, or
I do.
Excellent. All right.
Yes. Okay. So I think it would be beneficial if we were able to get a meeting set up for all the people and all the stakeholders involved with the Frank Lake. Just so we can gain a better understanding of the ground rules around the lake area. There's a number of different stakeholders, and I think it would be nice to get all the information together and compiled so we all have it. So yeah, thoughts on that? Sorry, those stakeholders would be like Ducks Unlimited, who own it, Cargill, Shirley Pickering, Harry Riva, of course, and possibly Shirley from University of Lethbridge. They do some work there. The Nature Calgary, and of course maybe Alberta Environment.
So if I may, there was a request by Nature Calgary, and probably that's not the exact name, but to meet with county council. But of course, Frank Lake, the operations of Frank Lake, and is under the commission. So this group. And so the parties involved in a meeting would be HMP PAC, Highwood Management Plan Public Advisory Committee, which is chaired by Shirley Pickering. The lands around the lake are managed by Ducks Unlimited, so we would hope to see them there. University of Lethbridge, and the Cargill. So those would be, the main groups invited to a meeting to, and the University of Lethbridge, I guess I missed out because they've been studying with Alberta Environment. So those two bodies. To have a general discussion around Frank Lake. It's, it's quite a tourist attraction. And so what does the management of it look like is one of the questions. So but it is a commission, so if the board wish to instruct administration to try and arrange a meeting, we would keep it not as big as some of the meetings where all the public is involved and all the PAC members. We'd keep it down to a dull roar and just sit around the table. And I'd probably have, it'd be probably a hybrid meeting just to try and find a date.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be something I would like to see put forth if we could get administration to do that. I think we should probably, you didn't list Nature Calgary, but we should have them there as well.
Yes.
Well, it's a request. I don't think we need to put that to motion. We can just leave it with administration to handle and try to explore who, what, and when, and where.
Okay.
I'm in support of that as well. We haven't done that since I've been a member, and I think it's probably pretty valuable to put everybody at the table. On occasion, and since I'm unaware of the last time that happened, yeah, good idea, Benita, to bring that forward. So, is that enough, Harry? Just to put it put it back onto administration plate, and you guys can start to navigate the pathway to that meeting. I don't think we need to formally make a motion in that regard, but
no, if that's the consensus of the members. Annually, the tried to be annual, but it's probably biannual. HMP PAC used to have a meeting of everybody, and we'd have to rent the Heritage to accommodate all the people involved. So it's not an intention to recreate that meeting. It'd be much smaller in scope and number of people. So.
yeah, no, I agree with that. Key
Yeah.
stakeholders, and yeah, not an open public forum. This is just kind of put the faces at a table, like you said, Harry, and have some conversations. So I think that's a great start. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Any other items under roundtable? Anyone?
No, I think the the other issues that we've talked about, such as the future's effluent treatment and how it'll affect Frank Lake, they're all stuck with consultants and engineers. So there's nothing has happened to report, unfortunately, from that perspective. And we did discuss pigging of the line at one time. And that sort of sits with Town of High River operations right now, and that's probably something that'll be put off till next year by the looks of it. So no rush there. We're not in danger of how would you say it, running out of capacity at the moment. So
okay, so you don't need me to apply any kind of
no.
Okay.
No, I think we don't want to spend any money until we have to, because It's one of these things, the longer you can go without doing it, the better, because then the longer you have on the other end.
Okay. Thank you for that. Then we'll just move to next meeting being held on March. Sorry? Yeah.
Yes, you're right, Sharia. That slipped my mind. So with respect to using water from Frank Lake for irrigation, at one time the province really didn't allow that. We've had some interest expressed with respect to using Frank Lake water for irrigation, and I don't know if the board has any concerns with us having a discussion with Alberta Environment around that possibility. And I've never applied for a license for that type of use. Certainly, it would require input from Ducks Unlimited and Alberta Environment, and it would have to be at the cost of the individual or the company that was interested in doing that. Plus, we'd have to make sure it has no negative impact on Frank Lake.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, could this be something that we could also discuss at a stakeholders meeting then?
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
as it sits right now, the Alberta government allows for you want to call it a certain percentage or something of wastewater, stormwater to be gray water. I don't know what the correct term is, but that can be used right now. So this comes out of that. I would want to call it recent allowance from the government to use a water source like that.
Yeah, they've certainly opened up the possibilities of using stormwater, treated effluent in the past. Alberta, I guess, lagged behind other jurisdictions in the use of gray water for other purposes, but the recent changes in the Water Act have given the director a lot more leeway. It may be a positive thing to divert some of the Frank Lake water into irrigation. Certainly the pipeline runs through a lot of agricultural land. So it was, in the beginning, it was thought as being something that was desirable, and there were some connections created along the line for that to happen, but they've never been utilized.
And so when you mention irrigation here, you're talking specifically this request is coming from the ag side of things. It's in terms of an agricultural assistance in terms of water.
Yes, yeah. The ag side would be consumable, where there was a request from the data center looking for cooling water, and pardon me, that would be mostly returned, like you'd have 90% return to the system in that type of use, but the ag side would not return.
Right. Well, I'm in favor of the conversation, just as we take the right steps and all the parties get to voice their concern about maintaining the ecosystem that's there right now, right? So appreciate it being forward and bringing forward, and Benita making the comment that this should be part of that discussion we have as the group in this future meeting that we're going to hold. So all good.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if some of this can be diverted to any data centers and stuff like that. And the more we can reuse the water, the better.
Yep.
Well, in a lot of countries, it's sent right back to the water treatment plants to be put right back into the municipalities, right to people. So, you know, there's a lot of countries that allow a lot more reuse of treated water than we do.
All right. One last time, any other comments, points of discussion for roundtable? All right, thanks everyone. Then next meeting, regular meeting will be held on March 23rd, 2026, immediately following the landfill operations meeting. Again, that's through Zoom. And at this time, I will adjourn the meeting in consideration of any opposition at 10:09. Not seeing anybody opposed to adjourning, we will adjourn at 10:09. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a happy Monday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.